One of our favorite topics, coffee, and the growth that you're seeing in some of the other spaces as well.
I'm personally more interested in what he brings alongside coffee, because
mock
if
meat?
he brings not mock meat so much, but if he brings cookies, cakes, or all the other things that go along with coffee, bread maybe. That would be a valuation driver for the company, because it starts to look like an FMCG company as against be just a commodity company. But for me as a customer, I would love another cookie maybe.
Okay, a cup of coffee and a cookie, right?
Yes,
Always
most
works.
definitely.
Okay, well, let's do one thing. Let's take a quick break on that note. That was CCL Products and the management. But when we come back from the break, lots more lined up. We'll put the focus on Olectra, Greentech and Mahindra CIE. Both those stocks having a big run this afternoon. More on that in a bit. Okay, welcome back. Well, there's lots happening at the moment. The NCLAT order on Zee Entertainment is out, and that's the reason why you're seeing the stock up about 2.5%. There's a big relief that has come in for Zee. The NCLAT has stayed the order, directing for initiation of insolvency proceedings. And since the stay on the order has come through, there is a big relief that you're seeing on the Zee stock, up almost about 2% or so. Now, there was, of course, this big overarching or rather overhang about what happens with the merger. Does it go through in its entirety? Does it see timely completion? The management of Zee Entertainment, Punit Goenka, has come on record and said that they will ensure that the completion of the merger goes through in terms of both the timeline as well as, all the required reasons for the completion. And now this relief has come through, so perhaps that's giving some, some ray of hope for investors. Although the stock has been really very volatile over the last many days, it's not done just yet. I mean, the relief has come through for now, but what happens next in the legal proceedings, etc., all of this to and fro could still put a question mark on the merger timeline, I assume.
When that happens, we'll have to watch out for. But immediately it is a big relief coming in from the NCLAT, because the NCLT had put in the insolvency proceedings on the company on initiation by IndusInd Bank. Thereafter, Zee had appealed yesterday itself. The NCLAT has heard that appeal and they've stayed that proceeding. So as a result of which, Zee can now go ahead and complete the merger. The merger was actually, being stopped primarily because of the fact that it was in the IBC process. So as a result of which, you're not allowed to go ahead and sell promoter stake or, merge with another company, etc. Now this comes in, this provides a way for the merger. We will, of course, await the formal order, but this is what we hear from the NCLAT right now. Our correspondents are getting this for you. Importantly, from a stock standpoint, it will also be interesting to see if the exchange goes ahead and reverses its stance on excluding Zee from F&O, because the reason what the NSE had given was the Zee shares would be excluded from futures and options trading, primarily because of the IBC proceedings against the company. But if the NCLAT itself has stayed the insolvency proceedings, then does that stance get reversed as well or not is the big question. But the stock, as Sonia pointed out, has seen a big relief rally from the lows itself, currently at the high point of trade.
Absolutely. I mean, 1.5% higher now. The stay will also ensure that lenders, A, don't take over the company, and B, the merger process goes through. So that is the reason why Zee had approached the NCLAT to get a stay. Also, the Zee management has argued that the NCLAT didn't give them a fair hearing earlier as well. So these are a couple of things. Remember, the company, Zee Entertainment, is almost debt-free. It hasn't defaulted on any of its loans. It was only providing comfort to IndusInd for a loan to City Networks, which is a group company. And that arrangement was called a debt service reserve account. So Zee was obliged to keep 1 quarter's interest and principal in that account. So when City defaulted, IndusInd asked Zee to pay, and this matter was what went through in the Delhi High Court. So at the moment, of course, a big relief for Zee Entertainment. And, now this stay ensures that the lenders don't take over the company. Right. So perhaps the merger process will go through.
That is one. And the other thing is that maybe the reason why, while the stock has recovered from the lows, but the gains are not, high and flourishing, is because this is, while it is a relief, it's an interim relief. Because, the NCLAT will hear the issue on March 27th. And I understand maybe 2 days from then, March 28, 29, or whenever, we'll get the final order. So for now, it is an interim relief. It is not the final, relief that is coming from the NCLAT, but interim relief, nevertheless, is what the street takes. And we will await more details coming by from Ashmit, who will get us more details. But NCLAT will hear the case again on March 27. So maybe the final order will take a few days. And as a result of which, because it was an interim relief, we've seen the stock, while it recovered, it's also come off from the highs, because the street will like more clarity on the final order coming in as against just the interim relief.
And this has gone on for so long, right? I mean, it's a big hurdle in the merger process. I think that's what the street has also priced in. If you look at the stock, if you pull up a one-year chart of the stock, the high of Zee was around 300 rupees in March of 2022, and it's now, what, 197. So there's definitely a lot of volatility, a lot of pressure, wealth erosion, etc. in the stock. But let's see momentary relief coming through for Zee Entertainment. Let's slip into a short break. We'll get you more details. We'll get our colleague Ashmit in on what's next for Zee and more stock-specific action as well on the other side.